Drunkgooba1645 says, I hear that you complain a lot about Windows Movie Maker and all throughout your Let's Play of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and the original Mario Party. Have you considered downloading a new movie-making program like Sony Vegas Movie Studio 9 or Vegas Pro 9? Well, again, I think I talked about this earlier. Movie Maker's only problem is that it crashes a lot. But you can usually prevent that by making multiple save files, or like saving every few steps. And since making videos really isn't that tedious for me, sometimes like I can get it done before it would normally crash anyways. And also, I don't actually capture through Windows Movie Maker anymore. I actually capture through Pinnacle Studio, and then when I'm done with the capturing, I just import the files over to Movie Maker, and from there it's just a simple like add video to timeline, edit it a little bit, and then like I can just save and I'll be done. So really, it's not that much of a hassle to work with Movie Maker. But it does become somewhat of a hassle when it does start crashing on you, because sometimes you will lose all that work and you'll get really angry. But like you'll still have the files for the most part, so it's not like a big deal. I have looked for better, more consistent programs, but I've yet to find one that really works with the setup I use. Right now, my one problem is that like when I'm filming Mario Party, I can't film the whole board at once. I actually have to film in parts because my program can only film so much. But it's something I'm still working on, and it's working right now, so it's not something I'm majorly concerned with. But thanks for the question anyways. I have considered it, though, to give you an answer. Plushy1Anthony999 asks, does it cost a lot to get the equipment to record a Let's Play? And could you give an estimated price range? For me, it only took me around 50 or 60 bucks to get my current recording set up. I only had to buy the capture device and a few wires so I could play off my TV screen. I didn't have to buy much more than that because I already had some of the tools I needed to make a Let's Play already. For example, like I already had my mic and headset already. I already had a good movie editing program. So I didn't have to spend very much. Generally, if you're starting out new, you might have to spend maybe 80, 100, possibly 120 bucks to get a very good setup. But as long as you have a computer, like usually you'll have already a free movie making program on there already. You might have a mic laying around somewhere. So it may not cost you that much. It really depends on what you have, what you need, and what you want. Because I know a lot of people use screen recordings and screen recorded Let's Plays. And for those, all you have to do is just download stuff from the internet. It doesn't cost you anything. But again, with that, you run into other problems. It's free, but you'll have more technical glitches and just technical problems and ethical problems as well if you really want to download emulators and stuff. And then when you want to buy, if you actually want to buy stuff, like there's the whole financial aspect. So it really depends on what you want. I gave you a few figures though, so if you want to live by those, you can. But don't take my complete word for it. You could probably find things for a little cheaper. And you could also have some of that stuff already lying around and you just don't know it. So yeah, that's all I have to say about the matter. WeirdGamer20555 asks, what tips do you have for future Let's Players? I have quite a few tips. First of all, be unique in your Let's Plays. Try to aim for games that haven't been Let's Played very much or at all. One of the best things you can do is do a Let's Play of a game that hasn't been touched. And then when people are looking through Let's Plays to watch, they'll generally aim for a game that they've never heard of before because they want to see what it's like. So that is one way to really spice up your own Let's Plays. Even if you really want to do an overplayed game like Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, Ocarina of Time, you know, a lot of Let's Plays of that caliber. Just keep in mind that when you're doing that, if you really want to do those projects, try to find a way to make it your own. and also try to find a way to make the project a little unique and almost different from other Let's Players. For example, there's a Let's Player I watch called Big Dip on a Bus. He has a Let's Play of Super Mario 64. However, it's a lot different than other Let's Plays of the game. What he did in his Let's Play was he actually challenged himself to the point where he couldn't collect any coins, he couldn't use any of the cannons, and he couldn't use any of the caps. So what he did is he challenged himself using a minimalist run where you didn't have to use any of that stuff to get stars, which I thought was really fun to watch. It was very interesting, and overall it was just a really good Let's Play. So you don't have to necessarily do that, but just find other ways to make your Let's Plays unique, because a lot of people will really check out a Let's Play if it's something they had never seen before, even if it was from a game that they've seen dozens of times before. Another tip I'll give is just be yourself. Don't try to be a clone of other Let's Players. What I see is a lot of people trying to imitate users like Deceased Crab in their videos, and a lot of people don't really fall into that trap because they'll realize that you're not who you are. You're just trying to be like someone else, and they do not take kindly to that. So just try to be yourself. Even if you think you're boring, just keep in mind that I also thought I was very boring to watch and listen to, but I have almost 2,000 subscribers. I have 2,000 people who actually like listening to me. So don't think less of yourself. Just try to be yourself. Don't try to resort to being funny like other users. Just try to be yourself, and you might find some success with that. Another thing I'll mention: don't get discouraged in your Let's Plays. Definitely do not get discouraged, because it takes a while for you to get noticed on YouTube. It really does. During my first year of YouTube, I got a max of less than 200 subscribers. And now that I've had my second year, I have almost 2,000 subscribers. You see the difference? That's a 1,800 subscriber difference from my 2 years at YouTube. So it definitely will take you a while before you get noticed, and when you do get noticed, it's going to be the greatest feeling for you, and you're going to forget all about that time when you were very discouraged and you even thought about leaving YouTube. It will take a while. I'm going to say that right now. It'll take a while. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the matter, and I'm going to leave it at that. Too Cool Production Co. asks, what genre do you recommend for first-time Let's Players? That's kind of a very difficult question, but I do have one answer. I think that any genre would really work for first-time Let's Players, but definitely try to avoid RPGs and strategy games, because normally if you try to get started with an RPG, there's a good chance that it'll be boring for first-time watchers, because RPGs are long. Unless you make the game and the playthrough very interesting, people are probably not going to want to watch it because of how long it is. And chances are they probably will find another Let's Play that's shorter in length of the same game, with perhaps better conditions and a more unique playstyle. So try to avoid RPGs and strategy games, because that is never a good genre to start for your first game. As for genres to play, I think you could really go with anything. Try to avoid long games as well. You don't want to be doing your first project forever. Platformers are usually pretty good, but again, they're kind of overplayed. So, I don't know. Just really any games besides the obvious overplayed ones, and then RPGs and strategy games. Flapperdoodle asks, what tips do you have for Mario Party board playthroughers? If you want to do a Mario Party board playthrough, there's a few things you should always keep in mind. Remember that Mario Party is a luck-based game. It's majority luck-based, actually. Even if you do amazingly at the minigames, there's still a good chance you'll lose. And that's usually how I lose. I do good in the minigames, and then something else kind of happens, which makes me lose. it's just a known fact about the series. It's hard to actually predict if you're going to win a game or not, because I thought I had Mystery Land in the bag, but then Luigi somehow won with the Happening Star. So you really just don't know if you're going to win or not. So just keep that in mind, and then when you're actually playing the game, just have a good mindset. Don't overreact too much, and just keep that in mind. So if something bad happens to you, you're not like cursing out everybody in the whole universe, and you're not throwing your video game hardware around or your laptop around. Just stay calm and just be in that good, calm mindset when you're playing the game. That's really the only tip I have, because you really don't want to get mad over a Mario Party game. That's kind of pathetic. Even though it can be frustrating, it's not something you want to hold over your head like that. So, yeah, that's what I have to say. And those are my tips to Mario Party board playthroughers.